Four, three, two, one. Hello and welcome to today's episode. I'm Professor Bodley, aka Mr. Bonny John. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's good to see you all. We've got a lively audience as we go into a new chapter of XOTEMPO design. We've covered some monster design, a lot of monster design over the last few months. We spent the whole week, you guys watched me design a whole bunch of cool characters. I got some cool updates on those. And now today, we have the locations underway. New XOTEMPO, no, it'll be, like I was saying last time, it'll be locations, and it's going to be a really fun set of explorations, some really important things that will help me understand more about the monsters, right? So, let me first say hello to everyone who's made it. We've got Chill Bill, Ghost Art is here, Alex is here, Person with Internet is here. We have, who else? Trash Inc. Bonnie's rapidly, and just picture me like this, rapidly approaching our area. Hello, Lowen and Goins Adventures. Hello, Kid. And I think we're good. I think we've got everyone here. Escaping the Abyss of Oblivion. It wasn't too bad. It was a little it's a little gunky. You know, I have to really wade through it, but I'm out. Domain expansion indeed. And so, chat, I'm gonna just go over a few things because so like I said, designing the world, right? You guys have seen I had created a while ago. I might pull it up today. It wouldn't hurt to look at it. Hello, Froopy. Welcome in, my boy. What's up? And hello, Rec. Pants indeed. First of all, should I show you the animation? I got fan art. First of all, I have to also say hello, Shard. We got all of you guys. Guys, some really cool stuff have been happening. XOTEMPO is becoming more and more real, it feels. So last week, my girl Danny, if you guys are in the Discord, Danny blessed us with some fan animation. Fan art's one thing, which, by the way, I received earlier today on my Instagram, a XOTEMPO concept for Rodan. It was very, very cool. It was really sweet of them to send it over. I hope they also posted on the Discord so you guys can see it. But it's becoming more and more real. And I'm just happy to share it with you guys because it seems you guys are equally as excited about all this as I am. So should I ask what JJK is? JJK is Jujutsu Kaisen. And you know, what happens is eventually quo of things, right? Names and words and things belong to something in a kind of way where the moment you hear it, you kind of immediately jump into there, right? And that's kind of what happened with Domain. And so I want to keep Domain, if you guys recall. So first, I will pull up the monster design document. And if you recall, here we had the Rhedosaurus concept, the Godzilla concept, and the Honengyo concept. Domains, and I'll have this up, is more or less my take on typing, right? And there's a very specific reason why I didn't want to use types. Because if I say, oh, there's a Gothic type, a Runic type, Typic, Cryptic, and Lithic, people are going to be like, oh, what's Gothic strong against? What's Typic strong against? All that kind of stuff. And the thing is, that's the power of wording, right? As I was saying earlier, verbiage and whatnot. I don't want to call them types because they're not necessarily stronger or weaker against each other. It's more like a classification system. And so I would love to figure out if I'm going to call them, maybe instead of types, keep it simple, like class, right? For classifications. Missed out on so many streams. That's okay. Welcome in, Justin. Welcome in, Shady. So here are the current domains that I've had. And I've thought about, you know, how I might be able to, you know, maybe make it, again, more of a classification system and use the word domain for how the XOTEMPO appear in the overworld, right? So first off, I'm going to I'm gonna pull up. I thought I had it downloaded. I guess not. But yeah, Danny, one of my cohorts from UCF, where I graduated for animation a couple of years back. She so graciously, hello, Oni. She so graciously made, um, again, not just fan art, but fan animation, which is really cool in like a day, maybe like less than a day. Um, so I'll share it real quick over here. We had a very successful day designing the Mothman. I never got so many likes on an Instagram story. I share my results from stream, and so many people liked the Fresno Nightcrawler pants guy as well as the Mothman that it evolves into. So I'll quickly share the pants gif, and there they go. Uh, Make sure there you go. That's her handle on Instagram. Go and follow Danny. Comment her on one of her posts and say, hey, you're amazing. Bonnie loves you so much. And there she goes. She, in a day, animated my pants boy, who is now sort of an unofficial mascot. So many of you guys love them. So really, really cool. Graduating from uni, let's go. Congrats to you, man. What a huge accomplishment. That is amazing. Um, People writes, if you call them classes, people automatically go to D&D and other ideas, so classification might be better wording. I don't necessarily think that's true, right? Um, you may not be wrong either. So that's why I'm not for or against class. I like class because there's a lot of D&D influence. Yeah, I want to see like pants emojis all the way down. And he likes them too. Nice. And so ultimately, in D&D, class is something that groups a classification, right, of I guess an occupation of sorts. And these creatures are occupying the space, and that's why also you've got to be careful if it's class, if it's domain, if it's type, right? I don't want to say XOTEMPO types, right? um, but so we have the animation for pants there. And now I'm going to show you guys some really cool work. I've been spending a lot of times, figuring out all this stuff off stream as I've continued to fall in love with this world. So, last we had seen, here were the characters, right? We had, and it threw me off because I was trying to read these letters, but they're flipped. Um, you had Rindira, Ryan. We had the potential kind of first look at a rival. We have Aldwin McMagnus. And then we have this mysterious man who I'm calling the Wanderer. What about the origin, as in where that has to do with where the XOTEMPO domain might occur in the real world. So we'll talk about that in a second, I promise. I also wanted to, again, for my design document, obviously I'm not going to develop like 300 characters off rip, right? I got to develop the characters that will really fill out the world space, right? So I'm going to go over, and you might see some new characters, and it's really cool. I'm going to go over the kind of immediate changes and some new characters. So we started originally with this guy right here, and I like him a lot. I have this version where I was thinking if I had the boomerang kind of capture item or some sort of thing, I would love if it kind of like sat on everyone's back to look almost like wings, like totem poles have the wings at the top. So that could be a cool way to identify who's like a XOTEMPO shaman or whatever I end up calling them. I use Photoshop on both my iPad and my PC. So I looked at this guy and I realized something. He looks a little too young. He looks almost like 8, 9. So I have bumped him up to be just a little bit older. Now he looks like he could be reasonably 11 or 12. I also bumped up Rindira's design quite a bit. She's got these more elaborate pauldrons. Her fit feels a lot more crafted and put together. And you might be noticing something interesting in Ryan's hand. Um, and it's this potential new, in a way, I'm thinking I like the concept of an arcane focus. And I think that, it's very fitting for a guy who has to summon creatures into the world, right? So on one hand, I was thinking all the XOTEMPO shamans, they might have like this grimoire, right? Like this album, because I was talking about photographs and whatnot. And I was like trying to think of a reasonable way to make it feel built into the world, right? I don't mind Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda way, where I think it's even more fun where you can take the technology and kind of like put them through a primal lens. And so I'll go more into specifics, whether or not it's going to stay or not. I'll see if that's the case. Um, but as you can see, Ryan is definitely a little bit older now. Rhaenyra got a major bump. She's got this kind of elaborative wing-like piece, which those wings and whatnot will also be apparent today when I design out the XOTEMPO domains, whatever that is. Um, Fun fact, I started going to the gym. Congrats. Hello and goodbye. I'll waddle away. All right. Waddle, waddle, Mr. Goots. Gunther. So there we have the updated looks for those guys. I made their hairs just feel a lot more like um, rough and tumble. Next up, we're gonna meet um, Ryan's grandpa. So here is Ryan's grandpa. They will also have some sort of name with an R. Actually, he's standing next to the first pass, and then I did a more shapely kind of pass. This is the retired chieftain. What happened to Ryan and Rhaenyra's parents are kind of a mystery, whether or not that has to do with the story or not. Um, I like the idea of um, it'd be too sad if the parents were gone completely. Um, so I would say that having at least one of the love this updated here. Thank you, thank you. Um, and love that Odin eye patch. Hell yeah. I wanted to have similar design motifs throughout. Right now that we have XOTEMPO, subtle places where the cross stitching on Grandpa here. Um, he's got the X, right? You've got it also on her belt over here. You'll see like an X motif on his hoodie where these tusks come out. The tusks are apparent there. There's a lot of through lines that I'm putting to make sure the family reads as family. Same with the tusks hanging from Grandpa's earrings. The way I designed this guy is that he looks like an absolute badass, and he's retired, but he is a softy pants. I labeled him, or rather, I designed him after my own dad, who raised me with an iron fist, and now he's the biggest softy in the world. Now that he's a granddad, he treats my nephews like the kings they are. I guess the baby princes they are. So it's kind of like something like that. He looks like I disappointed him. No, he would be so proud of you. As long as you always give it your all. Also have the urge to hug him. He's a very loving and doting grandpa. He is very old world rooted, so there's that. And he'll also be very short. He is not that much taller than his grandson Ryan. Next up, I have a bunch of characters who I won't go too much into them, but you can see they've got a different kind of feel. So this entity, I won't explain who they are or how they appear in the story, um, but they also seem to be holding some sort of arcane focus, but they're not in tribal gear. So you guys can kind of figure out what's going on. What's his name? I don't know yet. I got an idea for a few of these characters, but I don't want to give everything away. So here we have, some more of these kind of characters, but an updated look at the Wanderer. Now, the Wanderer has a more updated mask or helmet that feels more tribalistic. He's still got that kind of one piece astronaut kind of suit. Just overall cleaned up the design. So we will continue to meet more and more of these characters. But again, I don't want to do too many off rip. I want to do the major players of the story. So we have this character, and then I will show you guys another character or set of characters. First of all, Eldwin McMagnus got a very nice update in his design. He just feels overall more put together. I don't want to say too much, but maybe the pauldron kind of like tells you there's some sort of connection to, if not the tribe, the Zotempo world, and maybe that their kind of middle ground organization. We have this mysterious character, and then the rival got a really nice upgrade. What I wanted to do with the rival is I aged him up quite a bit. I didn't want him to be the same age as Ryan because I I'd thought about Gary and other rivals. And then I thought about quote unquote rivals in my life, right? And yeah, I had bullies and whatnot. But I was always looking up to and saw the upperclassmen as my rivals, right? Like they were the ones who, if they taunted me, they'd be physically bigger and I couldn't stop them. So I think having someone who's a little taller and whatnot, could be a little more opposed, um, in a means that's a little harder for Ryan to really fight back. So I've updated his design, and he's also again a little bit older. From there, we have potential looks at the Zotempo wielders out in the open. If you see these guys walking around, they are more legit tamers, right? Oh my god, I said the hugging thing depicted perfectly. Love it. Tempted to call the elder Omark. I don't know why. Omark's not. Maybe we like something with R though. Um, my favorite characters are the ones that look like they aren't human. I just really like the Wander Bee too. Really reminds me of my own grandfather, tough Puerto Rican man. Gotcha. Really wholesome. And hello, Thunder Cuts. So these are going to be closer and closer. I'm getting to a design. It might be even something like this, where it might be more capable, like if they're in pants. And they can have their own kind of looks here and there. But they also have like armor. I kind of want them to be in between, say, a knight and a mage. Again, kind of like a paladin or a cleric might be the best way to describe them in my mind as a visual point. But as you can see, again, major character development, and the main character that I think I'm most excited to like get the lines down is this interesting character here. So, this character in any kind of game, right? Like you have fun things like in the Pokemon world where because I don't want to say it's fun, but as a part of like the limit to hardware at the time, right? In the Game Boy, you can barely see the characters, right? In the games. They're like tiny little pixels. So Nurse Joys and Officer Jenny's and all those kind of people, the guards, they're all the same person. So I thought to myself, how do I do that in an updated world? And I thought to myself, well, I could probably do a few different body shapes or something, but I need a merchant character. And I think now that I'm developing the locales in the overworld, I have to picture the characters that roams around. So kind of like Beetle in The Legend of Zelda, I feel like I would want to do a roaming merchant, or at the very least, um, there's going to be like a head merchant, and all of her salesmen will be wearing these kind of hidden masks, right? Or this kind of um, like more like this Japanese style um, hatch roof rice hat kind of thing. And I really, call back to women in India who like carry pots on their heads. She's got like this giant totem backpack. It's not alive, but these smokes kind of come out. So, she's like this kind of traveling saleswoman who's got all these items in all the pots and elixirs in her bag. So she's got the lantern to kind of light her path, and then a kind of uh, pole arm kind of situation at the top. So I really, really love how her design came out. There's a lot of verticality to it. It's very blocky. I could probably, go even more, have her hunched over and holding but I've got to make sure she also has a strong posture to hold up all the pots. So I'm very pleased with this concept. Um, Definitely a character I can't wait to do the lines for. So finally, Bonnie, have you made updates on the capture devices? Yes. Uh, is anything confirmed yet? No. So let's go ahead and take a look, and you guys might be able to see I was building off of the elements that I was playing with last time. And what that means is I want to get closer and closer to potentially having, again, photographs or things of that nature, right? Is it going to be a capture device? And I played around with things where it's a mage, not a stick, a wand or something, or a staff. There's like a skateboard potential kind of thing that might be. And then I was like trying to play with like this wooden Polaroid where your talismans are like the Polaroids. I think I'm getting close to something that I really love. And it might be something like this. Hello, Hiku. Hello, Jelly. Jelly, I'm showing all my updated characters. I'm showing also right now the potential capture device before I get into designing location-based stuff. Another faceless character, let's go. Digging it. I could see a small tempo helping vendors. Yeah, exactly. That'd be so cute. Exactly right. Exactly right. So I talk more and more about finding the balance. Pokeball and Digivice, right? The Digivice is a chosen kind of thing, and the Pokeball is an everyday thing that you can buy. I think this is as close as I'm going to kind of get to coming up with a concept that gets to fuse the two, right? Because a Digivice, you interact with it kind of like so sparingly, right? The Digimon, how when you get to the Digimon world, they're already there. You would use the Digivice to bring them to our world. So, exactly right. It's sort of like a exactly a magnifying glass turned camera. Because every time I was doing the Polaroid thing, I could do a version where it's one hand and you snap the picture, but it felt like awkward. Having one that kind of looks like something that's in your hand, and the junior guys, they get the smaller magnifying glass, and when you're more like this upgraded XOTEMPO shaman, you get a full staff. And I figure you could also retract it as needed, magic and stuff. So I like the whole thing. Lo Dingus, I like this whole thing where kind of looks like an Ankh from Egypt. Very cool because it's very multicultural. This for sure has it's got like in my mind vibes of like a dream catcher, magnifying glass, the wooden element supposed to evoke um totem poles, and the wings are like a general again totem pole but spiritual like symbol of like elevation and whatnot, right? So one hand, I can picture the characters if they've got, I'm trying to find something. Let's just say oh, right here, my microphone. So you're holding up your lens and you can kind of scan basically in the overworld that I'm going to draw today, you would see the XOTEMPO spirits, be they in like simple flame orbs or whatever. You would use your lens to kind of like see who they are, and then your that's your digivice, right? And then in your other hand, you would have, and this is a little too big, but I like this idea where in the other hand, so you're like this, you've got like the visual of your magnifying glass slash, and you know, I could see it do all sorts of cool things. I really wanted to retrofit a device where it operates like a camera. It could extend out like a telescope. It's a magnifying glass. What if you could FaceTime? It's a magical mirror, right? Cardcaptor Sakura one, hell yeah. And you have your talisman, which would be like, again, just like this is going to be a pseudo magical scientific kind of device or futuristic device, your talismans would be like floppy disks that are like Polaroids. So you'd put it at the top, jam it in, and you would see at the top, basically, those would come in different colors, right? So green could be your common Pokeballs. I kind of love it. Hell yeah. And then, you know, there's like different materials you use to craft your talismans or whatever I end up calling them. And you're probably going to be, it might be called something like corny like zotographs. And so when you zotograph a XOTEMPO, you capture it in the talisman, and then it'll kind of like print out, um, and then you can put it into your tome, and that album is your decks. So there is a nice transfer of kind of seeing them in the overworld, capturing them, and storing them. All of that is like what I've been like really sitting down and thinking about, and so it's feeling like more and more it'll be something like this. It feels very unique. It feels fitting to the spirit concept, spirit photography and nothing new. Um, but it really feels like a unique take that feels like mine, and that's what I've been trying to do, even with the name switching from Potempo, from that sounded like Pokemon, to XOTEMPO, right? Bonnie, how would you feel about this monster place? It takes 2 years after World War II. Hell no, that makes no sense. It's not in this world, not at all. I'm liking it so far. Good, good, good. But yeah, so it's going to be in its own world, of course. It's just far simpler, easier. Zotograph is a W name. Hell yeah. So that's kind of what I'm feeling. So I don't know if I'm thinking that you won't really see um, you're not gonna really see the wings come out until you capture the creature. Like it's like the creature gets kind of like pressed into the card, right? Um, or talisman, whatever word I come up with. Talisman's too long. So again, picture if it were it could be green as the basic level, um, and then bronze would be the next, silver would be the next after that, and gold would be kind of like your ultra ball. Um, and so that way it's a visual system that really makes sense. When you craft it, you'd probably have to find gold in the real world, silver in the real world, bronze in the real world. Maybe the green is a more common, material. Green is always like seen as like a novice color, or like non-rare kind of thing, right? Kind of makes me think of those magical girl wands a little. For some reason, I can see there being a tempo trainer based off Sherlock Holmes. That would be hellishly cool. So cool. Such a cool and unique idea. Thank you, thank you. And so I want to like again just combine the kind of two. Wing stars coming out of the, yeah, exactly. I've kind of like the idea rather than it having like true stars, because it could, as Rec pointed out, feel like, and not that I care if it feels more boy or girl. um I think I like the idea, just the visual, like the flame kind of like shoots out. Or conversely, I was playing around visually, just thinking about like logos and how to make the X concept work. This was like a version where it was almost like the Wii steering wheel, or if the magnifying glass was just kind of looking glass, and then you had these things on the side. But I've been thinking about the X being X marks the spot, so it could just as easily be maybe like four wings shooting out to look like an X when you capture it, like this. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of cool permutations I got to figure out, but um, I'm still not committing to anything. Still trying to figure it out. I'm just getting closer and closer. So maybe call it a charm. By the way, hi, hello, hello. I do like charms. Charms is a very, well, charms for this thing. If it's not charms, talisman's too long. It could be. I don't want to do cards because, I mean, cards is a very obvious one, right? Yu-Gi-Oh has them. Digimon's use cards. Um, I didn't say there were no cars in this. Teaching Pants how to drive with this one. Pants like in the driver's seat. Could you imagine? Um, so magical effects animation. Yeah, pretty much, right? Talismans, cards, charms. It could be, I guess, something like, regardless. Oh, maybe tags. Tags could be a simple one. Um, rather than spirit tags, just keeping it simple. Um, I like tags for short is very short. Short is like the kind of main thing. Um, Drives, like kind of like a thumb drive. Um, Anything with like photos or like blank photos. What do you call like photo negatives? Chips, drives. I'll mark it just because it's good to have even the ones that you may not use because it could still connect something. But I had like photographs, Zotos. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely right, Dingus. It could even just be Zotos. Like, um, oh, Billy Bust Up comes out soon. It's a 3D game. Hallmark Sherms and partner Jill E. Watton. Um, Pants. We just call them Pants. But yeah, so that's that. I've been making a lot of progress. The characters are coming along great. Um, for sure, Gramps is a big favorite of mine. The revamp for Eldwin, as simple as it is, he just feels kind of well put together. The new rival is feeling really good. I wonder who this mysterious girl is. Is she mysterious? And then the updates for Ryan. Ryan is, as you can see, like compared to, his younger side, he is far taller, like a whole head taller. And he just feels like more reasonable age to go on an adventure, right? Zotags. Um, but yeah, I think these are the kind of people that I want to put into my pitch Bible. Hero, Rival 1, Rival 2, the Chieftain, Gramps, Scholar, the Wanderer, and the Merchant. So, yeah, those are the character updates, capture updates. Is there anything else I need to update you guys with? I showed you guys the animation by Danny. If she's able to hop into the stream today, you guys all better say thank you. We love you so much. Mwah, 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 mwah. Now, I will quickly go over because, as I said last week, this is going to be a stream dedicated to um, trying to figure out the overworld. Now, I don't really want to. This is an outdated map. I created this a long time ago, Ryan Reynolds. I don't want to refer to. I mean, I could see myself building up the um, the new version of the world. I just hopped on. Why did I hear my name? Guys, you heard the instructions. Danny's here. You heard the instructions. Um, Important question. What's the important question? What's a XOTEMPO? You will have to probably just watch other videos to understand what a XOTEMPO is, because it is way too much to cover. Um, but would the game be 2D pixel sprites or 3D? I mean, I'm just one person trying to make a game. I would love for it to be 3D models. I have no money to my name to afford a month of development, let alone years that it takes a Pokemon game with hundreds of developers, right? Um, yeah, everyone put pants emojis to thank Danny. Thanks for lovely animation. Danny, let's go. There they go, Danny. They love you. Um, but yeah, so looking at this, it's definitely an outdated map. It was like one of my first times making a map. Um, and I think I would treat it in a very different way. I think it's better to keep it simple. So, I like the simplicity of this. Um Hardcore knew that'd be such a fun character. Hell yeah. Thank you, thank you. Everyone loved it. Um and I think yeah, it's gonna probably be one of the mascots for sure. Um and so yeah, more or less, uh this was done a long time ago. And I would pretty much not only maybe step back from even touching this right now, but I think I want to go over more so again, if you guys got words for what the XOTEMPO domains should be called, as in types, because now I think I am going to change the word domain, and that's what we'll draw and design today. So, domain before, previously, right, was to kind of represent types. But I need a new word for classification. I personally like class. It's simple and pretty straightforward. So we have classification. The new domain, expertise is too long. Like types is just one word, right? That domain is one word, syllable. Types is very easy, simple. Class is also very simple and easy. Backward pizza, let's go. So tempo is the current name. Yes, thank you, thank you. Um, it should be a way to classify their origin. However, the updated, and I'll write update, the updated concept for domains is exactly like that of domain expansion. I know, I know. XOTEMPO. I think class works best. Fortes. I like Forte too. I'll mark down any words you guys have. Um, Fortes is nice. Something with like origin or origin, or like background. Basically, they're like DNA, anything that kind of like denotes that. But the updated domain expansion, damn it, Danny. Um, I would say that realms, not too much realm. I like order, but order will be part of chaos and order, right? Assuming that's still a feature in my game. Chaos and order are their own things. That denotes the kind of moves and temperaments that your XOTEMPO can be. All praise to the patents. Essence is a little too long, but kind of like essence, right? Anyway, before I get to inundated, that's a good word. Um, realms. No, no, no. So I would say the new domain is that. It might even be, instead of domain, I might either call them realm. I like, maybe sector feels a little too so it might not be domain, because I don't want like everyone to be like domain expansion. Understandably, don't worry, I get it. I'm not blaming you. Genus, genus might be too scientific, but I like it. Orders, no, because as I was saying, we have chaos and order already. Um, so yeah, you know what? Maybe instead of domain, I will say for now, I like the word realm. So to describe how, and that's the kind of stuff that I want to figure out with you guys, and you guys are my guiding compass. You guys tell me what you think, what you like as a player. I'm not promising anything. Is vicinity, I think, too long. But vicinity is exactly right, meaning Dominican. They do call me the Dominican puppy. No, they don't. Actually, but most people, if they think I'm Hispanic, understandably, they think I'm Dominican. So let's do it like this. Plain, I like plain. Plain works in a very D&D format, right? So let's say this is the world map. Let's just make funky shapes, and this is the wonderful world of XOTEMPO, right? And I do have a name for the continent, and it's Origaya, for origami, the way that everyone folds in together to be one culture, and then Gaia, or the Greek word for, I think, Earth, or the planet, or Terra, or something like that. So Origaya, let's just say this is the shape. They do exist on a different plane, but so to get to where the domain element comes in, I want to have specific areas on the map where, let's say I'm going to do this means town. If we see a star, I'll mark it here for you guys. Star means town. So let's say you got a bunch of stars here. Here's another town here. And again, it's a little silly for me to like just kind of put down places in a map and be like, this is perfect. No, a map needs to be lived in. It would have to be kind of like created as development goes, because it's like, okay, how do you get to this place? Is it closed off? Is it too far? Etc. Etc. Right? Aspects, not aspects. An aspect would be the XOTEMPO is essentially an aspect from another world, right? Um, but the idea is, let's say these are closed off cities, right? And let's say this is a pathway. Um, the story, as it were, the only star I see. Shit, thanks, Danny. You're the real star. We all know that. We all know that. So let's just say that we have over here another town that connects this way. So, do you guys remember a long time ago I was saying like the main character, and I guess I'll kind of do that over here. I know, and I just noticed, Danny, the emoji you used got the freaking lip bite too. You freaking clown. Claspect, I think too long. I mean, not even that it's too long. It's cute, but I just want to keep it simple, right? Like I already have like potentially zotographs for Zotempo and photo, and um, I want people to, when they play this game, have like an easy transition, right? Um, Genres. I did say genre a long time ago, and I like it for the kind of it's a very cute way to describe type. I wonder maybe if the name is fitting for like the way you classify them in your album, right? More than likely, your album is going to be where you put your Zotempo, and they're stored in their photos, right? So maybe in that naming convention, um, Zectors. Okay, honestly, that's clean as hell. That's so fucking clean. Is it Zectors instead of domain? Zectors is so fire. Auras, not auras. You'd be walking into. So okay, so let me explain the with domain being updated. Domain used to be no. Maybe I'm mis explaining it. So the old domain used to be um the classification for types, right? Like you might have a Zotempo in the Gothic subtype, right? Um, Again, I didn't want to use types because if I say type, somebody's going to be like, "Oh, is lithic weak to cryptic? Is cryptic strong against typic, etc., etc." Um, so domain used to be types, but I was going to use it for realms and whatnot. Exactly. It's weird having too many made up words. That's something we got to be careful of for sure. Um, Now, I'm going to erase domain from here and describe that basically in the overworld, I kind of want to have, instead of like a lot of, I guess it's kind of like, again, the concept of the wild area in Galar. They call me Rap because I'm squeaky. It's weird. Oh my god. Um, so I want to do, in fact, I'll use a different color. So we have these different towns, right? The story is Zotempo as a whole, right? They are kind of like these cryptids that live in the world. So already that's your first difference from Pokemon, where Pokemon are like straight up creatures that live in the world. They affect economies. They're well-known creatures. There's a science to capturing them, etc., etc. In my world, Zotempo is um, kind of like, again and again. This is not a true map, so just play. Just play along with me. You have, they're not biomes. They are they are in a way biomes that um you know house them. But I want to have these massive areas that started kind of activating recently. Um, and hold on. Oh, I got it. I'm going to denote them with a pink color because it feels magical. I want to do something where these pink areas, they'll act as um what the hell? Where the other towns I create went? Um Got to bounce. Just want to wish you a good stream. Thank you, thank you. Oh, I haven't even stretched. And I'll also blink. Oh, that felt good. You guys heard that? Bye, Danny. So I feel like a. Is this what you wanted? So the old domains again described a kind of class system. In the newer ones, I guess rather than calling them domains, because understandably, I'm not blaming anyone. It's just gonna be like people are gonna be like Jujutsu Kaisen, Jujutsu Kaisen. Um, I'm going to make these kind of wild areas in the map that are constantly kind of moving like potentially like storms, right? Um, and the people are scared because now these cryptids, right, who have just been kind of like mostly stories, are um, all of a sudden they're becoming real, and people don't know how to fight back. And that, the scary part is it'd be one thing if, you know, you could see the entity, but like these natural disasters and all these other crazy things are happening. Zotempo are like powerful spirits because their connection to the plane is so weak. They're not able to fully manifest themselves. So people see these things um, kind of like acts of God, right? Tempos, again, I don't want to do too many crazy things. Um, so I'll put, again, to further kind of highlight, instead of domains, I'll just simply call them maybe planes for now. Um, so would eternity as in the no, just because again, I want it to be simple. These are like these are planes like rifts. Like a rift is another good word. Um, people will be, yeah, that's true, but if I can mitigate it, there's no point for me to. It's not that it's like jokes, right? I'm not offended by it, but when something does become ownership of like the greater public, it's just harder to get a wrangle. So that's why I like something that isn't really there. That's why I'm going to change domain. Um, so in the same way where people are like, oh, people are going to make a connection to Pokemon. Yeah, but I don't want to give them the animation. I don't want to give them the fuel to make that connection. If they make it, they make it. But if I say it's Potempo, they're going to be like, well, yeah, this is a ripoff because it sounds just like it. Um, Rift Storms, it'll just be simple. It'll just be simple. It might just be rifts. Um, so for now, I'll just say rifts. Does Mr. Bonny John drink? I mean, like alcohol? Keep it on topic, but I might participate only when I'm with friends. So let's just say you have this overworld, right? Um, I like that where these rifts are breaking from. Um, exactly. Oni and I have talked about this in the past. The acquisition cost becomes high. I don't want to have, during every stream, let alone say the game or anything. Um, you don't want to spend as much time teaching people what a Hariftcane is or an X Storm, um, what a Zotograph. Like for the major stuff, it's okay. But when it's like everything, it just becomes, quite cumbersome, right? For any newcomer. Like, you don't want to introduce your friend to Zotempo, right? And then you're like, so you have the Zotempo, right? But they're different from real world animals. And the only way to capture them, right? You've got to use your zotifying glass to, and but the only way to capture them, of course, is to use your Zotag to put them in your totem tome. Um, And from there, but the thing is, in order to find them, you've got to find them in the sector. You know what I mean? Like it really becomes um again cumbersome and hard to wrangle. So my current thought is, as far as location development, um sightings. No, but like, see, like, I'm trying to find names for this, right? Like, I wouldn't call these riff sightings. It's cute, like it could be a general term, like there have been sightings, but I'm more so again looking for, and even though I'm not necessarily looking, but like I will call them realms for now, just to kind of like bring it down. Um, Yeah, Digimon does it, Pokemon does it. But like to be fair, those are simple and straightforward, right? If I get too abstract with everything, um, you know, it'll be cumbersome, right? Digivice, it works. Digi device, like Zotograph, that's also very simple. That you could really understand. But there are like things where you need to give it something unique, so for the branding, and then there are things where you don't, right? So this is what I mean by replacing the old domains, right, which were types. I will for now not even talk about what the type's name will be, right? It used to be domain, but it's not. Um, so let's say the realms, right? The realms are where the XOTEMPO seem to be living in. And it could be like crawling fog, right? Of energy from another plane that's leaking into the world. And the more dense and stronger this fog from the rift, um, the more lesser folk who don't have like spiritual connection can see XOTEMPO. So if the god of XOTEMPO were to ever like ever make it into the world, every single person would see it because its power is so grand that like the energy it's leaking is enough to like truly. I've never heard of the Digirap. um yeah, Digivice, Digidestin, Digipartner, of course the Digitoilet. um so I'll say this: when I look at a roaming kind of thing, I think there's a lot of cool elements for the post game where these kind of things activate. But I also like the idea, kind of like in um, the game Legends Arceus, where this what do you call it? Like there were similar rifts where this like Pokemon would come in from the past, the time distortions. Um, in that game, they would show up randomly, right, in the overworld and whatnot. Well, I want to do a thing where um, those could appear again any moment. It would really kind of create these nice moments where if you're out in the distance, it lets you explore and maybe find creatures that might not normally be in the area. Um, and then beyond that, it allows me to kind of have the creatures be a part of the world without living in the world, right? Honestly, I kind of like this map, as simple as it is. It's gonna have to be a simple game, it's not like, you know, I have like a multi-massive company behind me. Um, so yeah, more or less, I'm going to design mass distortions, ass distortions. Most aughts thing ever. That's why Gen 1 Pokemon are so basic compared. Electric Mouse versus. Yeah, exactly. And that's the need to continue to evolve. I'm very early on here, so I don't really need to worry too much. So that is what the new domains are going to be. And from there, I'm going to start designing something that I think is going to look really cool, that will really kind of uh, encompass. Um, Hold on, I got really hot in my room. As I'm talking about location stuff, um, and basically, this will allow you guys to kind of picture how to find these in the game world, because it could be really cool um, to just run around and see like a storm coming up, but that's very Pokemon like, right? Check this out. This is what I'm going to picture what causes the what do you call it? I call them realms. So I guess I'll have the realms on the side. I want to have kind of like, I mean, we have totems, right? I want to do a thing where um basically, let's say in the horizon, and I'll illustrate. And this is what I mean by like, I want to start designing like, locations and things like that, and how things might look in the game world. Say we've got like the character here in the foreground, and they're standing. That's the hero, Ryan. He's got his trusty magnifying glass thingy. It might be a staff. I feel like a staff looks cool. Um, okay, so he's standing there, and I want to do something like these kind of like somewhat large totem poles rise up out of the ground, right? And it might be something as simple as this, where these totem poles come out of the ground, and I'll design them on stream right now. But I just want to kind of illustrate. And hell, maybe they're connected like an archway. So picture when you're playing the game. And if it's not this, I could totally see it be. See, this would be more like Legends Arceus, which is why I don't want to do it. But like in Legends Arceus, when there's a mass distortion or an ass distortion, um, you would be in that physical space where you are, and but you're standing in a storm, right? So you're on that ridge of the mountain, but you're in the ridge of the mountain in the storm. Here, I like this idea. Oh, maybe the wings come like this. Um, and it comes out of the ground. And when you step through it, these come up every now and then. And it might be a way for maybe the legendary of the region to say, hero, you know, these XOTEMPO need to be quelled. They're rambunctious with energy. Can you tame them to balance the harmony between the planes, right? So it could be, again, I want to really figure out some sort of cool X symbol. Um, the X symbol is sitting there on the top or something. Um, Whatever it is, this kind of like activates essentially, and I'll use the colors, um, like a portal. And these are not the true colors, but I'm just using it to illustrate. You'd be in the real world, and these kind of pop up in like these designated areas in the overworld. and it takes you to the XOTEMPO uh, plane, and it's not going to be like this very um, what's the word, like super well described. It'll have a very ethereal feel to it, you know. And it'll essentially feel like the distortion world is probably like kind of like what I'm picturing. And so then just to kind of like illustrate, yeah, like the sun. It's a nice little image. I could definitely like build this out. Just imagine you use the Twitter X logo. Definitely not. Uh, the X reminds me of the Holy Cross. The Holy Cross is a T. You could use it. Is it just X in a different font, not copyrighted? Um, yeah. I mean, why would I want to use a bad logo? I would want to make my own. Not to mention, like, it's not like the true logo, but more a supplementary thing, right? Um, Maybe something like this. So I'll put down some colors. So, ooh, that is way too strong of a blue. Maybe the Zotempo world could be like very pinks and magical looking skies and stuff, you know? I like the idea of these like remaining like brown wooden, much like, of course, the Zotempo, they have their wooden masks. So having that like consistent wooden motifs not only makes it feel like um really ancient. Um oh, you know what else? And this is where a lot of again this exploration and whatnot. So you got I'm gonna do again whatever the color is. Maybe it's like glowing green in the middle. You get some nice. It's gotta look like a star-nosed mole. Wings should be like the little mole hands. The mole gate. I mean, I would have gotten there on my own, but I can see the mole. Yeah, I could see it with the claws on the side. Um, but yeah, let me go ahead and I'll keep kind of fleshing this out. It could be really cool to have like again, like the carvings just feel really old and intricate. You know, whether or not like an ancient people did this. Um, I want them to kind of erupt out of the ground. So they'll be like covered in dirt and all this kind of stuff. It could be really cool. Like, again, I picture them rising out of the ground. Imagine all this like green is kind of like sitting on it, you know? Correct the cois is this moment. All right, we'll do. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty cool. The mole's tatted. He's a cool mole. So let's do. So, what do you guys think about something like this, based on what I'm pitching? it could allow me to, depending on the coding and whatnot, to do procedurally generated areas that always feel different, with like a few areas in the, for the story's sake and whatnot, could be like crafted XOTEMPO dominions, you know? Ooh, you know what? It could look really cool if like I illustrated that this is another dimension by like having a sun in their world and then a sun also in. I think travel zones are magic. That is really cool concept. Hell yeah. What up, Jay? Welcome in. I wonder how the mold will affect the greater stream of the plot. Really cool. Looks awesome. Weirdest mimic ever. Imagine if there's a mold or temple that mimics the gate. Leave the gate alone. It doesn't deserve this. Clarification. This leads to the type realms or this leads to the legendaries? This would just lead to because I don't have like in the way that Pokemon like exist in the overarching game world, right? Um, like they're built into society, again, economy and ecology, right? Like Pokemon evolve to fill their niches, right? Like if they live in a very hot area, they might get fire powers, things like that. Because Zotempo are a natural part of the yeah, that's true. It could be a moon in the other dimension. Maybe it's like night and day situation, right? I just think it would be interesting with two suns. But yeah, that's probably stronger visual. Um, but yeah, having these kind of portals that take you to domain, the Zotempo domain, um, it would really alleviate having, because I really sat down and thought to myself like, how do I, in a game about monster tamers, the creatures not living in the world certainly creates a lot of problems, right? Like, wait, if they don't live here, then how the hell are you going to capture them? Well, this would probably be the way where you're going in and you're using your um and if I don't do it this way, there is a cool way I can do it, which I'll try to illustrate right now. I'm just going to I just want to put down like some clouds in the background just so I can kind of like visualize it and make it easier for everyone else to kind of view it. Let's get these clouds up in the sky. Right. Okay. Um, so let's just say you've got your clouds. I don't like this. This angle is throwing me off. So let's bring the character. We're going to put him like right here. The green is really jarringly green. I don't like it at all. But let's just leave it there for now. You could call those areas clearing or glades, like the opening is forest where light shine through. That's true. Bonnie, that's a tempo brain rot. So it's a little like the Shadow Realm from Zelda, but they can squeeze into our realm. Exactly right. The Digidisease is contagious. Can't help but seeing the gate of the Starmust saying, "Wah!" So, yeah, more or less what I would like to do. So, here's another thing. I could do it, and this is what exploration's for, right, chat? You could have it like, um, there's like cute little flowers on it too. So you have this kind of portal that opens to this world. Um, and they randomly spring while you're running around, or they could operate like, if it doesn't outright take you into another world, right? It could just simply kind of like um the distortion area in, I mean, not distortion, the in Legends Arceus, when you were able to um the time rifts, right? Um it could also be something like, um I'll illustrate it like this. Let me save this. Okay. So if there are, say, trees, right? And let's say there are trees in the background, right? It kind of distorts the world around you. So let's say you can kind of see the shadow of the things behind. And so that way, I design one game world or game map. Um, and then there's probably like a color filter or something. That might also be interesting. The thing with that is that it allows you to kind of run around the game world, and you could explore the intended areas with like a different, and again, I don't want to just label it like, oh, it's just a filter change. But the other option would be to do something where, you know, you'd be going to a procedurally generated realm, because I wouldn't want to curate, especially for a first game. I design a whole second map. We're not a Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild team. There isn't even a we. I'm just one person drawing pictures, right? Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I haven't played that game yet, but I really want to. Um, but what do you guys think? What's more appealing to you guys as explorers? Would you feel like, again, knowing that XOTEMPO has um two or one major caveat about the creatures, in that they don't regularly, interact with the world. They cross over, and special people who can see them, including our trainers, or player character, it's their job to kind of wrangle them up and befriend them, right? And then do with them as they will. If not, raise them as their own or send them back. I guess you start with just one of these gates, and as you explore, you unlock more gates, allowing you to pop between the two. Yeah, that could be cool, right? Like, it could be like areas that, at the very least, kind of let you be point markers across the map, right? The way I kind of see these, again, as if Zelda, Breath of the Wild in specific, and Tears of the Kingdom weren't like a clear um, uh, point of reference. These are kind of like the Sheikah Towers, or like the Sheikah, or even the Zonai shrines. I picture these things coming up from out of the ground, whether or not, um, it's a situation where I'll start to like make this a bigger document. You guys know how much I love my giant documents. So there's always like a couple of ways to go about this, right? So I'll leave the first pass of the map in this corner. And I'll move this. I'll move these here. Fast travel points, that's true. So yeah, so either it takes you to a completely different place, which is the bottom one, right? And I'll put like a little, let's say the moon is there, and then you have like the sun here, just to show you like, oh, interesting. Like, I'm going to a different realm, right? Like that's just kind of a quick way to just look at it. Hello, Tilkanor or cilantro. You can't hide. Um, so the top would be these areas kind of like come out of the ground and then they distort when you step through it. Like you could like peek through right behind the gate if you don't step through and then see the world as it were. But when you peek through it, maybe the top is more fitting because it's like you're walking through the magnifying glass. You know, if you're wielding, it is their tempo now. Yeah. Um, for now, it's always there's always room to continue to learn and change and build. Nothing is ever set in stone. Um, but yeah, so it might be more the first that if your device, your capture device and whatnot is like a magnifying glass camera thingy, if it's distorting your vision, these totem gates are probably the same way. Maybe when you step through them, you are in our world. And then again, like I would picture it so that like very little of the weaklings break through, but it is more than possible for like massive ones to enter. So those would be like story events, right? So I like the top one, seems more fun. Yeah, I think so too. Maybe there are special gates that like take you into a very derelict, like sectioned off part of the world, and that's more of like a not Easter egg, but more of like a so let's just say like a more focused gate. And that could be like where a legendary is waiting. Ooh, I like that. And it could be like, ooh, I like that a lot. Set in stone like the gate. The gates aren't set in stone, they're set in wood. Like one of those small ultra worlds. Yeah, like picture it again, like distortion world. But I like that the focused gates, right? So let's say the focus gates take you to, and I'll illustrate it like a Pokemon kind of thing. Like maybe it's like a set of stairs and you see it. And then when you step in, the XOTEMPO legendary is like waiting for you. And he's like, would you like to fight me? And I'll give him big horns because it's easier to visualize. So, okay, I like that. Focused gates, and they'll have like a different, maybe they'll have like, they'll be even more ancient, more elaborate, um, you know, uh, designs, right? Maybe like there's like fire burning from like the space. Maybe the wings are lit up. Oh, you know what? It would definitely have to be something like this. Like the lights are kind of lit the fuck up. It's far more dramatic. Maybe you're like peering into like a galaxy. You see all these stars rippling across. The lighting is just a lot more dramatic. I like that a lot. And here's a little peg fella with horns. Perfection. Wooden bowl gates. It's also something to consider how making it a different area would probably lead to loading screens. It would be seamless to have it stay in the world. That's true. Although yeah, that's definitely a very good point. It's have to be up to like the developers and the coders and engineers and stuff. Focus gates and ADHD gates, neurodivergent gates, like me. Um, but yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. So let's say that the focus gates are for legendaries, right? And they'll look far more. And then the usual gates will look something like maybe it's like without the X and stuff. So this would be where like if I had like some designs of um my legendaries, I could like build them into the design of, you know, ooh, you know what would be really cool? So let's just say again, the focus gates or the less focus, the generalized gates, right, are like far more simpler in nature. It could be really cool, and this is the kind of stuff I want to design, like really sit down, is I could have, I don't want to like, again, make more work than I need to, but at the very least, it could be something cool like, watch this. I'm not even going to say it. I'm just going to like draw it out, and then you guys can kind of. I wonder who can see it first. Also, see how skewed um my angle is. You guys see the vision, the focus gates. In a perfect world, I would design each legendary to have their own unique gate, but that is just now. If it was Zotempo's first movie, then I'll do it. But basically, it's like the mythic. Mythic is the class, right, of the legendaries. I really like this. Now, obviously, it's a first pass, so it's not going to look super cool. Who guessed it first? Cool. The gates would be like some sort of generalized Zotempo like deity. It could be the very first Zotempo that, I worked on stream a long time ago. Should I maybe work on him now? It's been a while since I worked on the god of Otempo. Otempo of Zotempo. It may need to be upgraded from a whale. Wonder if the whale feels a little too random. Also, I definitely got to incorporate like metal and stuff, metal and wood and earthy elements. It might be fun to work on him today because he would be heavily connected to the gates, right? Don't you guys think? Let me know if that's something you want me to work on right now. Because I did say I wanted to fulfill. Let's see. I kind of like the green. I feel like the green gems make the X kind of Arceus reminiscent. Yeah, the green is just a placeholder. It won't be. Well, I'll see what the color will be. But yeah, again, anything to truly continue to step away from all the Pokemon kind of influence, which of course I'm never going to deny. I love Pokemon, obviously, but I want to where I can. Try and make things. I did it my way, right? Oh, maybe the X could be. But yeah, I think this would look really sick, like this giant maw. Like you see the totem kind of coming up, and then like little by little, all these woods, like the wood bits coming out, the tusks, everything locking in like freaking Transformers. Then considering the whether the effect would work in 2D plane, the world probably won't be 3D, so making sure the cells in 2D plane would be important. How are these gates formed? I think they've been kind of either placed into the ground or like they're kind of formed in this like spiritual way, just like the XOTEMPO babies are, and then they get the wooden mass. So maybe you see like these like spirit kind of columns coming up, and then all the wood kind of snapping in and stuff. Mole with a mustache. A mouth. Thunder Trainer gets it first. Oh, the mouth kind of Aztec monster mouth. Um, would the Temple God look like the gate or the other way around? It would be um the other way around. The Temple God would inspire the look feel of the gate. Or at the very least, maybe one of his children, or it's a combination of his children or something. Maybe just colored to the legendary with the yeah, that's true. Maybe whatever attribute or type they are, maybe that's what the color is. No, no. Wait a second, they're all mythic class. So Monster Mole Gate or Mole with teeth. Yeah, we get to watch this Temple movie. Could you imagine one for the Potempo jar? Put it in, Jelly. Whale gods are always cool. The gods call it Potempo because they have existed for so long. No, the gods call it monsters. They have existed for 2 millennia. This could be a legendary space. So long as the Temple creates still god dragon-esque, I can imagine it appearing in a similar way to Desert Oasis appear in media. How so? Like a mirage type of thing. Um, you know what? I low key. It's only been an hour and 29 minutes. It's been a minute, chat. I think it's time to maybe work on the XOTEMPO god a bit. Um, the more I think about a whale, the more it feels almost random. But I think what it is, like, part of me wants to lean into a more eagle, something like that soars high. A dragon feels too on the nose. That's why I like an eagle dragon or a whale dragon or an eagle dragon god, you know, something like that. Okay, let me work on this legendary. XOTEMPO rap win. Yo, chat, you guys cook up a XOTEMPO rap? I'll definitely well, I'm not gonna rap it. I'll rap it if I get 100,000 um subscribers. Catch 'em, gotta zap 'em all. Gotta zap 'em all. XOTEMPO. Um, yeah, you know what? Let's all stretch. It's gonna be yo, Jelly, perfect timing. I think it's time to stretch. Thank you. I appreciate you, Jelly. I literally was just thinking it because I was feeling a little pain in the hand. But this is really cool. This is the kind of development that I can only make, because I want to know what you guys want to play, right? Like obviously from a creative standpoint, I could want and try and do things, and that's like the director. Got to figure it out, and then figure what's on brand. But now I get to have a little bit of both. A focused gate for legendaries, and then a general one where it springs up when a concentration of that XOTEMPO energy. Um, I'll say this. Do you guys remember a long time back? So again, picture these areas. It could be another thing where um picture the X's being like these XOTEMPO. It could be a simple thing where these and I'll try to draw it in 3D for you guys, where maybe these wooden columns, sprout upwards. So maybe it's not so much gates, but these are, you know, columns that shoot up from the ground, and there's like this kind of like these connect to each of these totems, and they're like contamination fields. That could work too. And then if you say, you get on your XOTEMPO mobile, and then you get over here, maybe there is a special XOTEMPO gate in various areas that look like that, let's just say. And those take you to a specific kind of plane where I'll design it. That's sick. Yo! So like the Minokawa. I'm not sure what the Minokawa is. I don't want it to be. My goal is to make it feel very collected as a mythological god, XOTEMPO, right? Where it feels like a good combination of cultures. I feel, as an Indian American myself, I have a connection to my roots. So I feel very comfortable being able to utilize that as inspiration, right? Um, so I would want to do like 6 wings or 6 arms as a nod to those gods, right? And then borrow elements from, Aztec and indigenous and Philippine and Greek and, get all of that. So it feels like a very balanced kind of thing. Is there going to be a city in the sky? Maybe that would be dope. I love that. Eagle Dragon is either a griffin or a pterosaur. I wouldn't call a griffin an eagle dragon, but that's interesting. Definitely both Skylo or some sort of sea creature swimming in the sky. Whale, eagle, dragon god. Yeah, it might be something like that. Trying to draw an expression earlier. Got to take a photo of yourself. Best way to do it. Fairy gods tend to be humanoid, but also turtles, whales, dragon, and snake. Exactly. All right. So why don't we do that? It's been a while since we've looked at the god. I'm going to leave this up real quick. Ooh. This is way too busy, and the look feel does not fit the world that I've been crafting. So I am very excited to redraw this. I know exactly, I think, the direction I kind of want to take. I'm going to be right back. I'm gonna put the, where's my scrapped section? Compendium, stacks, scrapped. I'm gonna put this. This was the version 1. The gold and whatnot. I think there are cool ways I can bring that back, but watch this. Make the god a mole. Be hilarious. But no. Okay, let me go ahead and set up this thing. You guys take a look. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to read your guys' comments. Tell me your current thoughts on this first take of this deity. I know exactly what I want to do. Be right back. I'm still watching you. Don't act like I'm not here, but I'm not here. But I'll be right back because I want to figure out why it's so hot in this room before I melt. And you guys give me feedback. What are we going to worship while he's gone? Taco Bell. I really, really, really want to um I really want to eat that Taco Bell Cheez-It sandwich. It's not a sandwich, but I'm back. All right. Make it a biblically accurate looking spider. No, thank you, even though I love spiders and they're so cute and cool. Sending galaxy motifs are good. Is it still music inspired? It's not super music inspired anymore, but it would be cool to kind of have some sort of nod to like the tempo part of the name. Um, Bit too much of an underbite for it. I like it because it was like the galaxy leaking out of its mouth. This gives me a Norse god feel, like a space Viking ship from Thor movies. I love that take. Looks good, but could be improved. Brody's gonna show up now. Don't give me an idea. Gonna do a quick 5 minute deep dive. Hell yeah, thank you, brother. Bro's not the big. I'm the biggest bird. I'm the biggest bird. Give it a longer body. I feel like a god should be horrifying to look at. No, not necessarily. It depends on the context, right? In an Eldritch story, yes. In a children's game where you capture cute monsters and cool monsters, it doesn't need to be terrifying or horrifying. Looks majestic and magnificent. I love it incorporates different creatures. It feels more like an actual creator, not another humanoid. So I think I know exactly what I want to do. And this is the cool part about being able to get into a design, right? I didn't have this was one of the if not the very first XOTEMPO I designed. By the way, the AC was off. My PC was like, it's so loud, it's so hot. I can feel the air coming down now. Feels so good. Um, and so yeah, I was designing something, and it's not a bad idea to go in blind and develop something. Because look, now I have a very cool jumping off point, right? Well, I can look at this, and now that I know I have more and more of these motifs of ancient material like wood and metals, and I want to make it look super primal, like a living statue, right? It's almost like the statue or like looks the way they do because at the end of the day, it's based off of this guy. And that to me is really cool. Makes this god just a man in boxer shorts with like hearts on it. Um, so with that said, I do like the idea of again making it a combination of animals, right? I'm gonna pull up some references of like deitic kind of things that I can look at. Um, Pinterest is your best friend for that kind of stuff. Um, so I'm going to jump right in. Who says this? Let's jump right into the news. I forget who. I don't think I ever actively watched that, but like I think my friend would send me videos. I like the barnacle thing, so I might keep that. Um, let's see. I definitely want to. I wonder if I give it like a bird beak. It's got like a whale jaw. I want to give it like that very tribal feel for, with the like teeth. Should I give it a well, maybe it's not so much a beak, but like it could have like nostrils in there. Space Whales, Feather Serpent, Phoenix, Deific Dragons. This boy Quetzalcoatl inspired? Not entirely. All right, from my small deep dive through a few religions, Creator God seems to be multi-headed, inspired by suns or mountains. So we could I definitely want to do a sun motif. Feels good. Something around ancient, unfathomably big, shapeshifters. So you decide on XOTEMPO. What does the X mean? So XOT is exotic. Exotic Creatures, you step in line to get your tempo with them, and then the po part is for potential. Exotic tempo potential. Needs a cloaca. There's nothing more godly than all your business out of one hole. Ugh. Pokerex, hello, welcome in, welcome in. Let's see. Whale, yeah. So this is an old design. I don't like it at all looking at it now. I'm gonna try and find trying to find like Midna, like with Midna's helmet and stuff, like that's the cool kind of like I love that design. You know what? I'm gonna look up Midna. Like I like Midna's like ancient armor. It's got like a very indigenous feel to it. I'm gonna look up Hindu deities. Ooh, that's an interesting picture of Midna. Be careful. There's a lot of sussy Midna pictures for some reason. I still like the barnacle eyes, so I might do that. I feel like there needs to be like, oh, maybe its tusks form like an X for its mouth or something. Still kind of want it to be like this whale. Oh, this is gonna look so sick, Chad. I'm telling you. Legendary. It is beyond a legendary. It is the god. Twilly Titan form. I can see that. Exotic. Isn't that a domain? Um yeah, so I'm changing that. It's no longer gonna be domains to describe their class, right? Like I didn't want to use the word types. Domain is now retired. Okay, chat, it is retired. Goodbye, domains. Oh, what if I had the eye come out as like the antler bit? Because I do like the antler. And it kind of pseudo creates a horn or like a crown without being a crown. And then, oh, I got it. I got it. So this is, I'm going to have it kind of segmented out like a totem pole, except it's not like a rigid totem pole. Oh my god, it's gonna be so sick. It's going to be more like this. I don't want it to be like too Rayquaza like, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. But it's obviously gonna have, some semblance of it because Rayquaza is based off of like, you know, ancient godlike dragons anyway. The back of this design isn't super well, so maybe it's just not super long. It's already making more epic. That's what I'm saying. Tend to have like rainments or flowing parts. Frost Mirage. XOTEMPO is supposed to have started that become legendary main partner for protagonists. How do you mean exactly? You could give the upper tusk eyes. No, that might be a little too creepy. Um, yeah, I like the X for the kind of tusks it has. Also like the teeth. I feel like it's uncanny in a cool way. Um, Although we'll see if that stays. Um, how do I? Okay, I could see it getting like the wooden wings of a Hmm. Okay, there's something really cool here for sure, chat. Telling you. In fact, I feel like I already don't need. Thank you. Take care. Take care. The upper tusk eyes. I meant the X tux. Mouth resembling the gates. Exactly what I was going for. Good catch. Good catch. I'm also going to color this, I think, white. Ooh, what the hell? Hopefully that's not blinding you guys to death. It is blinding me, but I'm willing to sacrifice. Okay. How do I get the body shape? How big is this thing? It's gigantic. We've talked about it before when I first designed it. I would say you can't catch it. You can't catch it. You can't summon it. It's just there for story reasons. A person is like, ready? Person's like that big. So it is very big. You're watching a god. Um, okay, how do I get its body shape, chat? That's the main thing that I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna look up whales. That's what I'll do. Purgils from Star Wars. Oh, so if I do, hold on, infinite Tsukiyomi. So it'll be more like a traditional whale type of thing. I'm going to do, yeah, like a blue whale is probably the best bet. Hmm. Actually, I wonder if maybe I should bring the eyes down over here. And then it kind of looks like eyes, the tusks. Okay, I'm looking at my reference. Whale gods from Legend of Zelda? Hmm. I want to use too much inspiration from other specific whale gods, you know? Ooh, the Xenoblade one looks really cool. I gotta be careful. Okay, yeah, mine wouldn't look too much like that. Um, Too weird, but it would be wacky to see the eyes on the tongue. Yeah, I think so. Okay. I'm getting closer picture chat of how I want to do this. So, all right. Let's start. I'm gonna just try and get a general shape. Xenobird, I heard Xenoblade. Yeah, we got some Xenoblade fans in here. I can't say I'm one because I haven't played it, but y'all do you. Okay, so let's do. I like the idea again. If I if I made it like you're looking at a totem pole that is segmented, and like for example it's flipper, people made the wings of the totem pole because when they see it flying it looks like a wing, you know what I mean? Ooh, I'm getting Kyogre vibes, so I gotta be careful. Let me move. Take care, Froopy. Thank you for hanging out with us. Mwah to you. Definitely have a Xenoblade tattoo? Damn, okay, cool. Okay, yeah, like I said, I'm getting kind of Kyogre vibes, so I gotta be careful. I'm going to do... I'm gonna lift the mouth up just a bit. I like this angle. I'll have to make sure I change some stuff up so we don't get Kyogre and Pokemon suing me. It's the flipper that's kind of the issue. Make the tail fin bigger? No, it's all the way in the back. That's called depth. Oh, you know what? Maybe, speaking of tail fin, maybe the tail fin looks like the end of the totem pole with the wing. All right. So now how do I do... Okay, we've got this. I like the cosmos. I've written the story for the cosmos for domains. Yes, who wants to fill in Kofi? Welcome in, welcome in. A lot of changes with domains, a lot of new exploration done for how you meet XOTEMPO in the wild, let alone how you meet legendary XOTEMPO, which is very exciting. Trying to cook. Make the mouth a little pointy, could be. I want to get that feeling of... If I do this, it feels like it's a nose or something. I really do want to get like an X somewhere. It could be, you know what? It could be on the body. And you can't really see it. Hmm. I do want to have the teeth part, you know? Oh, maybe I could do something like that. Is the Gods Temple the one and only? Is there others? Um, this is the one and only deity that created like the world and the lore. So it is entirely in its own weight class. Like it is absurdly strong. To the point where like there's no competition, right? Because it's not a character that fights or battles, but it's simply put like the creator of everything, you know? Um, so it has children, many children that kind of like are the mythic class creatures that you can capture. Xarises are cool. That to me, the reason why I don't want to do that, I immediately thought of Xerneas. Xerneas has the X. Ooh, what if he had like teeth within as well? Gay face and long serpentine body? Me too, buddy. And let's keep looking here for some reference. Xenoblade Chronicles. That whale does look really cool. Um, ooh, a lot of cool creatures in Xenoblade, yo. All right, let's see. How the heck do I make Zomius? Zomius is really cool, but I think it's a little too close to Arceus for my take. So I have to find something it definitely would have XO something in the name for sure. Um, Orion Titan. How do you draw a whale body? Is the problem with like trying to make it unique and cool. Let me do something. Let me do this. No, I have no time to play anything. I've been wanting to play Xenoblade. I started making my character, and even that took so long. And then from there, I ended up like barely, you know. Let me make some. I'm gonna make some silhouettes. All right, so here's a simple one. I'm looking at this whale. Right, so that one could just be like swimming into the world. Um, are square asking pretty unique for whales? That is true. It could be very sperm whale like rather than. Ooh, wait, you know what? Not to mention, it's pretty blocky and rigid, right? Let's see. Zotaya? Break that down. Zotaya. Because I could see this cube kind of shape. Not connected to the Wired Blade universe. It's the only one to have a character creator. I gotcha. Those have X shapes. That's true, right? Narwhals are also cool. I did have this guy have like this crazy pointed, you know. Oh, wait a second. I think I've seen like Aztec kind of gods with these kind of. Oh, what? So what if I did have a very blocky. Yo, hold on. And then like Zotem. Oh, just keep it simple. Like Zotem is the god of the Zotempo. Might not be a bad idea. Keeps it simple, right? Oh, so may tempo and autumn. Okay, I think I got something cool. What if? So it could have like, if I do that, the barnacle, it feels like too much like the eyes. So let's say I do the teeth. This might look too scary. Then what if I open the mouth and like the galaxy is leaking from the side, you know? And that way, maybe the teeth kind of look like this for the X. Looks like a space worm. Looks like a totem pole now. Exactly, exactly. I'm gonna see how I can. Oh wait, yeah. So then I have it carved, and this is like a barnacle eye, but it looks cute if I do that. You have to picture this is empty, but okay, let's do correctly. There's something really cool happening here. So maybe I could, so I can give it the wings of the. Ooh, it could have multiple wings. Maybe it has only 3 segments. You know, Zotem. I don't know. It's also just totem with a Z. That's true. The murals would go crazy. Exactly. So they kind of got the idea to make totem poles from this guy. Right? But I don't want to also erase, indigenous culture that, um, describe their heritage. That's why I want to do like references to Hinduism, for example, with the 6 wings for the 6 arms, um, stuff like that. Now, over here, but how do I do? Oh, I do one dorsal fin here, maybe one dorsal fin from the top, and maybe I can have it like really rotating. Nods also tend to come in threes. X eyes with pupils. I don't hate it, but here's the thing. As I said before, like eyes would be helpful to make it feel less scary to look at. But I wonder, chat, if I do think as a god, maybe it doesn't need eyes. That's why, like, I'm trying to think what I could do with the barnacles, or like, at the very least, maybe it's like, oh, wait, what if I did something like this? You know? Oh, I could even give it like 3 faces. Although I guess you couldn't see the faces on the side. Ooh, more abstract eye, I think. So I have the side of the mouth, or the face here. Ooh, I like that. I like that. I don't know if I like the open mouth like that. It looks a little derpy. But I don't hate it. Maybe I get rid of the dorsal fins and just have the antlers be like these, like. There's something over here. All my homies hate eyes. Lore-wise, do the people of the world know about this creature? Is it a monster in a situation with the story we discovered this creature? I think 3 segments, 3 pairs of arms. Um, 3 to represent infinite. Why 3 for infinite? I like this. Me too. I think there's something really cool about this. And then I'm going to have to like find some really cool shapes. Oh, you know what? And I can have this line like continue all the way down and like be where the wings kind of emanate from. Looks a bit like Big Raga. What is Big Raga? Raga in my language, well, not my language, but Hindi is like the melodic framework. So it's kind of cool that Raga is there, and then to tempo. 8 is infinity sideways. Oh, and 2 3s come together. Very cool. Um, Chat, there's something special happening with this design for sure, with the cubic approach. Mahoraga. Maha in my language. Wait, that's definitely Indian sounding. Mahoraga. 8-handed Scylla. Oh, yeah, that guy's sick. Well, it's supposed to represent a road without an end. Interesting. Maharoga sounds exactly like Maharaja, which means the great king in Hindi. Maha meaning great and Raja meaning king. Pretty interesting, chat. All right, let me add some color, and I think this would really start getting closer and closer. Um, oh my God, I just realized why this makes me laugh. It looks like that one baseball picture where it's like, let's go. Tilting the head was key. Sometimes it's as simple as that. You guys know what I'm talking about? Hold on. Let me not delete that yet. It makes me laugh so much. Oh, there it is. Come on, chat. Look at that. Unintentional. What do y'all think? You see the vision? Zoraga? Zoraja. Although I really like, I think it could be as simple as this, Zotem. Like, totem, X, keep it simple. It could be, I like the XOT, because you have Zotograph, Zotempo. Maybe even his name is Zotempo. Let's go, Tempoya! Zoraja is sick, too. Zoraja. And you gotta hit him with the double A, and then the unnecessary, like, hold up. Zoraja, like, that looks sick. Actually unsure? That's okay. I'm trying to figure it out. It's gonna take a long time to figure out the god. Are Zotempo aware of this guy? I don't. You know what? That's a great question. I think that it's a matter of um like, do Zotempo even need to know about it? It's not a god that needs reverence or worship. Like, you know, like, it's not a god that will never grow weak. It's not a god that will, ever be bested. It's so out of the picture because it's way too strong. So I would say, like, I would say that most Zotempo, they have a connection to it. I don't think they outright worship it, nor do they worship one another or anything. You know, I think it's more like. Also, I'm just going to try out colors. I'm going to try out a whole bunch of different things so I can, like, get closer to the design I picture, you know? I really like green for, like, this jade kind of color potentially with, like, wood and gold. Um but yeah, more or less I like the notion that um adding the king prefix, yeah. I gotta say, Kofi, you got a lot of good questions. It definitely helps me think. So I would say that the Zotempo, like the mythic class, for sure, no, right? And they're kind of like arbiters of its good intentions, you know. But I don't think it outright gets involved. Like, this guy does not get involved with the Warriors of the World. It is way too powerful and actually feels like a bug now. But I'll keep trying different things. I like the idea of Zotempos don't know, but if they were to see it, yeah, exactly, exactly. And, like, I really like this kind of story and concept of um, what do you call it? Like, And these aren't eyes. It has like fake eyes because it doesn't need to see. For now, again, in this take, as I continue to figure out the design. Because it'll look cool if it's like a mural entity come to life, you know? Um, and yeah, ultimately, I'd wager that, when all XOTEMPO return to life, right? He's so beyond mortal life that he barely knows of its existence. I don't think it's that. I think it's more like he's like, I set into motion this world and it's not perfect. I'm not going to exact my will, but you know, um, it's like the world will play out how it's supposed to play out. And then when humans and animals and XOTEMPO die, they'll be born and reborn into new forms, and life will continue, and et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? Um, I like the idea of the gate being. It could be that each of the gates for each of the region might be like based on the deity of that specific region. But again, I don't want to think too far ahead. So it would probably be best to have this guy be, you know what? Yeah, I think it's better if it is this guy because if it becomes a thing where you can't capture this guy, but he's still available the game world as like you don't need to have a creature be capturable for it to have an impact in the story. So if this whale god is like at the very least responsible for all the imagery and stuff, that's cool. You know? Dumb question? No such thing as dumb questions. Or is it temple born or made? Like, does this thing birth them? No, no, yeah. It look at it this way. Um XOTEMPO are creatures that um they they're no different than humans as far as what powers them, right? Like we as human beings, when our heart stops beating, our heart stops beating, right? Like we haven't found a way, like, yeah, you can say in some cases the heart, crashes and then it's, you know, starts pumping again, but like there's no like elixir or cure all, right? It's like almost like, and that's where that word spirit comes into play, right? When the spirit is gone, like you can't resurrect a person, right? There's something special about life, right? Like, how do you get the heart pumping and like continue its duty and speak to the brain? So that's like the scientific thing we're trying to figure out. And I would wager that the same thing kind of happens, um, where like whether or not you are a XOTEMPO or a human being, you have this life energy, right? And that life energy is what kind of like, kind of dictates um whether if you're human or a XOTEMPO or like a spirit, right? I really want to play up the concepts of like life and rebirth and all that kind of stuff, right? Um, Weird idea. If segments of the body detach and crash down and form the gates, or like every 100 years, this Raja sheds its jaw. That is very cool. That is very, very cool. There's a lot of cool ways to tell the story for sure. Not going to lie, I like the face, but the body not sure. It doesn't feel godly enough. The body designs before, especially mostly the first long serpentine, feels more fitting to me. IDK. No worries, no worries. Like I said, it's going to take a long time to figure out, you know, what works, what doesn't. it's cool that we have a direction now, right? Um, I like. I'm getting very like caterpillar vibes because I'm probably thinking Caterpie with the green and like the barnacle eyes. Is this guy responsible for all life or just Zotempo? I would say, you know what? I kind of want to say all life, but at the same time, like I don't want to like outright commit to so many major revelations, you know? So for now, what I'll say is it feels right to say like I kind of want to say all life, right? But I also kind of want to say maybe for now he's responsible for the energy of the world, you know? Like in Legends Arceus, right? They say that, or not Legends Arceus, but in the story of Pokemon, someone confirm Arceus is considered the god of Pokemon, right? And inadvertently, Pokemon are said to, like, humans were Pokemon at one point, right? So meaning that Pokemon evolved to be the humans that like enslave Pokemon, right? I don't say enslave. So in a way, Arceus also created Pokemon. I mean, humans, right? So it might be a question like that, right? It might be a thing where it's like maybe I'll just simply say because I don't want to get too metaphysical or anything. It might be a thing where hmm, this entity is responsible for all the energy that exists in the world, right? And how that energy manifests itself is just the rules of life that maybe it set the blueprints for, right? But the potential lies beyond him. I think I like that. Like he created the blueprint and he's like, you know, he's like, I'm not going to interfere. You guys do whatever you guys are doing. Um, and it'll be up to like, you know, other mythic class um potempo to kind of like exact their judgment, you know? This is starting to look cool. There is like a rhyme or reason, but it will be a long while before I fix it. Yo, what's up, Yalani? What up, Michael? It's been so long. Is he sentient or just is? I don't know. I really don't know about that one. He might be. I like. I don't want to have every answer, every question have an answer. I will respectfully decline to answer that. I think some things are better left unknown, right? So right now, my problem with this design is it's feeling like maybe that eye is the thing that's kind of throwing me off. I also want the it's kind of feeling like a catfish. I need him to feel a little more grand and majestic. So I'm going to try and slowly find my way to that. Although I will say, I really like this start. Again, like this blocky, cubic kind of direction feels very right to me. I like the teeth a lot. I can do. Maybe it's a thing where kind of also like that beta form of Arceus feels more. Yeah, exactly, right? Like in a way, that Arceus feels even more scarier. I love Arceus design. I have only high praise for it. You guys know that. But like, and yeah, I do prefer that to the beta. There's a lot of people who are like, oh, I think the beta is better, and that's fine. You know, you can have whatever opinion you want. But I'm personally a big fan of the beta for the kind of mysterious feeling it has. It feels truly otherworldly, where it's like so simple yet so, huh? It makes you think, right? But in the same way that I'm being very, um, what's the word? Um, I'm being very like I'm curating this design to be both incredibly mystical, but it still has to live in the realm of Potempo, right? Put it in the jar is XOTEMPO. There's a difference between sapience and sentience. Every living thing has sentience. Human civilizations have sapience. Very good. Uh, Working right now. I ended up missing a lot of things. Oh, it's okay, Poppy. You're at the airport, right? I forget how many of you guys are all like working and like listening to me. Pretty cool that I can hang out with you guys. And then sometimes you guys watch me while you're having dinner. It's really cool. So let's, yeah, I'm going to get more of a curve. What if the eyes on each segment of its body and the wings are a bit lower? It's coming. It's coming. I'm feeling kind of what I have to do. Watch this. You guys, it's going to be sick. So, oh shit. I don't want to make it green. It's going to feel like Rayquaza. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to extend out its body, right? Make it longer because for sure I want it to feel strong. The art of the beta form people make is nice. Yeah, exactly. Like you can have both, right? Like I like to think that's exactly the case, whether or not it's canon or not, and that's probably the case with this guy. I'm betting there's a version of this guy that is so incomprehensible. Um, for example, I really love this from Hindu mythology. Um, the Devas, right? They are the gods, and the idea is they kind of look at humanity almost like we look at ants, right? When we look at ants, they're like our little playthings, right? They're just these tiny little creatures, and we can't even begin to imagine what goes on in their colonies. And they're getting to the queen, and they're doing this and that. But then that's all in the underground. We have no idea. We're living in our world, and we're connected to the internet, and we're doing this and that. Picture the Potempo. God damn it, I keep saying the XOTEMPO gods, kind of like the same thing, right? Where this guy, created everything, and then he's like just swimming through the cosmic dust, you know? I'm gonna make it black for now. I really want, like, I love the black and white that I had earlier, so I might just do that. It reminds me of the orca, but that's like one of my most favorite creatures, so I think that's okay, right? Maybe, dude, maybe. So it comes like this. Maybe its eye is like kind of underneath. It makes sense for it to have like the wooden totem like all of its children seem to. I'm gonna keep messing around with the eye. It could be like that's an eye. Oh, there's something cool happening, chat. I'm telling you, this design is it's gonna be really cool. What's happening? I'm trying to figure out. Oh god. Cosmic purple. I do like purple. It could very much be purple. Purple and gold are the colors royalty, true. Um, what if it's like Snake Way from Dragon Ball? I do love Snake Way. Maybe make a way to make it more godly mystical would be to have some type of space texture or stardust. That's true. Um, Dragonfly and Dwaconis my two dragonborns. Um, or maybe Dragonfly is more a bug. But okay. So I like this covering. It looks really cool. You guys see the vision like with the face? Like I think there's something cool with the eyes, kind of like Anjumon, like blocked out. Because it doesn't need to see where it's going per se, right? Something is happening, chat. I'm telling you. I might be figuring out this design sooner than you think. I like this gold that's flittering. It could be maybe that like the antler comes out from here. I do like the antlers, but okay, let me figure out the body. Something cool is happening. I'm telling you. Sir, I'm an insect. I apologize. As a fan of bug Pokemon, there you go. Um, you put the eye under the mouth? That might be a bit much. What if you made it bark? Instead of having a totem head like its kids, it's the wood that the totems are made from. That would also make a ton of sense as well, right? Like it's the source of all the wood. But I mean, one way or another, that's kind of like implied for sure. I like that take. Would you make classic whale sounds? Yeah, I think it would like I would sit with the sound engineer and for sure have the basis of I think I want it to sound like since there's no sound in space, it's hard to be like, I want it to sound like space. But it would sound like very guttural. It would sound like altogether I guess what's the best way to put it? Um You know what? Yeah, yeah, I like this. Elevate this space to feel more like that boxy shape of the sperm whale, plus, again, more like a totem, right? Um, oh, that's sick, chat. This is sick. What a cool redesign. It could even have these cool swirling kind of motifs and stuff. Like, there's a lot of cool things. Although that looks like eyes, and I don't want it to look like eyes. But you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of cool. Oh, if I did make it like a gate. This is the handle. You know how GameCube had that handle? No, I'll just extend it out like that for now. Kind of like it again, blind, administered blind justice and all that. Base boosted whale, yup. Yeah, so like I think it would be something like, oh crap, it's 9 o'clock. All right, I'm gonna chill with you guys. I would say for another, let's do 30 minutes. I'm gonna set my timer because I'm really having fun designing this guy, and I feel like I'm on a good path. I'm gonna stretch real quick. If you guys are drawing at home and drawing with me, feel free to stretch with me. It sounds like white noise. Space is canonically raspberry flavored. Yeah, it would have to be ethereal. Wait, space doesn't actually have a sound and also a taste? What? Stop. What do you mean? What if it had multiple eyes and a chain sort of shape where the gold rims connect? Could be. Ooh, the creaking of wood? That's sick. It could feel, yeah, like primal. The sound of like wood creaking, white noise, like a faint whisper of the wind with leaves on it, just life and energy, along like and like all the creaks. Oh man, yeah, it's gonna be sick. Oh yeah. Um, I will bring the I do want like a space texture inside its mouth, but at the same time, I wonder if it's necessary. Holy moly, this looks cool. Holy moly. See, I told you there'd be good coming out of designing like locations and stuff. Tomorrow I want to work on where like designing like the battlefields that like the shamans fight on. I think that'd be a fun one because I really don't know. Like ambient noise in a sense, yeah. It holds that show inside of its body. Again, he doesn't need true eyes. He's a god, right? It's more like for the sake of people needing to connect to the eyes, like in a way that looks like eyes, right? And it makes him look angry, which I don't like. So I might just, you know, and eventually I'm going to really sit down and get like the proper segmentations because I want it to feel like a totem pole that's connected, you know? In fact, I wonder if it's maybe needs to be. No, I'm gonna keep it blocky, I think, because that'll also separate it from Rayquaza a little bit, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I kind of want to have again. I think disjoint. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna have the barnacle thing here, the black, right? And then that. Fuck yeah, that's cool. You guys are watching history. I'm cooking for you, my sweet children. I like the floating kind of wings. Um, the head is looking badass. I can imagine the body being a long serpentine Easter dragon with angelic wingtips coming out of the totem wings. That'd be so majestic and godly. Epic. Holy moly. Any of the space sounds in Discord? Nice. We just give him normal sperm whale eyes. Eyes between each set of wings. That's going to be too uncanny. Perhaps fuse the wig with the horns. I think it making it pop out of toilet would be so skibbity. The brown and black gives specifically former gives it more humble vibes. Exactly. Creative history. Seraphim whale. What if Seraph? Exactly. That's what it is. False and the front's really cool. Um, we like I said, I'm gonna keep building this. It's gonna take a long time. I'll be iterating on top of this design as well. I like that the wood does bring it down to a set. Ooh, wait, the Inuit had glasses like this. I wonder if the eyes are like that. And then eventually, like I said, I don't want it to just feel um the playing with the eyes will be a very tricky thing, right? Because I don't want him to look scary. I don't want him to look weak. I don't want it to look like you can't connect to him. Oh, you know what? I wonder if the eyes is like this. Now he looks happy. Hmm. The Remember Me thing, there's a lyric in that song. There could be like a set of eyes on each segment and the wing hovering a ways above it. That's what I'm going to do, about six. I think is the number I want to do. You're not afraid, I kind of like that. Remember me, be very. Where'd the boy fall out from? Sick, thank you. All right, so I'm going to continue the segmentation. Um, so I'll give it like, yeah, again, that orca-like kind of thing feels really good to me. And again, it will likely be purple. Um, but you never know. I'm gonna skip this segment. Basically, I'm going to do like, would there be people in this? I don't think so. I think they're more like praising um like the local deities, you know? I don't think this guy needs to be. I don't think he needs the praise anyway. I'm really happy that I get like the X shape out of the mouth as well. Just got off work. How's everyone doing? Wonderful. How are you? Welcome in, welcome in. Watching a chef cook in real time. Yeah, y'all getting tasty, tasty steak tonight. Right out of work. Um, okay, so then I'm going to bring the next one here. So I'll have this wing there. Next wing comes here. It's fun working like with geometry. If you guys ever need to draw stuff, like break it into shapes. You know, can't go wrong. All right, I gotta finish this landing. So next wings are here. So I'll have to get a better shape once I kind of um independent whale guy that didn't know me. Did y'all stretch? Thank you, Danny. You know what? Jelly did remind me. She did remind me to stretch. You just reminded me now. Although don't worry, I did hit the stretch ski just before I started drawing this dragon god. So like this one too. It's like one of those wooden toy snakes you get as a kid. Um, is he going to have a whale fin or just snaky tail? He is going to have. It'll be like a what do you call it? A whale tail. Um, but the wing will look like the wings of a totem. Yo, this guy is sick, right? Yo, this is fire. Hell yeah! Thank you, thank you. I'm very pleased with this. I'm going to see again if I can add more Indian elements and more elements from various other religions. Right now, it does feel very, um, I think, indigenous inspired. But you know, my biggest concern is, of course, respecting um, the cultures that I'm drawing a lot of inspiration from. I gotta say, I like the segmented body. I wonder if it feels too robotic. Angelic Whale is fire. Angelic Whale Dragon God, pretty much, right? Gotta trust the process, y'all. What do you guys think? There's plenty of permutations to figure out for the face and whatnot. Oh, you know what? I wonder if maybe the front is like encased in gold. That would create a clear delineation of the rest. And there could be like some insane. Oh, wait. Wait. It feels a little too symbol heavy, but it is a deity. I don't know if I like this. I'm just experimenting like I did the whole time. Hmm. Might need a little more brown. Oh yeah, you know what? Well, I guess so the brown would be on the wings, right? So let's just say, bro, this design is sick. I don't know if I like the gold in the front. X in the head reminds me of Laboon. What is Laboon? It feels like Laboon from One Piece if you put an emblem on his front. Dun, 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 dun. This would be fun to animate too. This would be so hard to animate, Danny. You need the ASMR. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I hope this is the final design. It most definitely is not the final design. There's still plenty to figure out. But I have a feeling it'll be pretty damn close. Like I'm very pleased. He feels like a legendary. He feels, really good. But there's just gonna be some more um what's the word? Logistical things I need to figure out, right? When I do the gates for the design, how does that come back to affect the design here? Um okay, so you got the mouth in the front. I don't know if I want to do the barnacle thing anymore. You got this here, you got this here. This doesn't feel like Rayquaza, does it? I don't think so. I don't think so, Rayquaza. Take a hike, bro. Let me have one thing. I love Rayquaza. I think it's such a cool design. Let's see. Danny got before me. Tolkienor, you smell what I'm stepping in. Most divine sushi. Give that Zoraja a straw hat. Nankidiru. What would we get? Not in this one. The one to chase. That is, I think. What are their names? Skull and Hot Tea, right? It's a game where we could make food. Imagine a cake of this guy. Rayquaza could never different from Rayquaza. That's right. Get out of here, Rayquaza. Go on and get. So okay. I wonder, chat, again, how to I might need to take a break because it is almost 3 hours streaming. Well, I still have, I'm staying till 9:30, so we can land this ship for the most part. And I think I kind of did already. What I think I have to really sit down, think about the symbology of the game. Maybe I incorporate more, you know, Indian kind of swirls in the design pattern. You know, there's a lot of cool stuff I can do, right? Um, and real Skull and Hot Tea. Thank you, thank you. The names are Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Damn it, Danny. Um, but yeah, can you guys see? I do want to keep adding the elements of like the totems, right? I'm biased because I like black and gold color scheme. I like this a bit more than Rayquaza. Honestly, I'm with you. I think black and gold is just cooler. It's a very neutral color palette, which allows him to feel like he's on his own side, right? Let me quickly try purple. Purple does look good, but like with the brown, I don't like it. Honestly, it just might be like this dark gray, black kind of color. So yeah, right now it's a little wonky. I love this design so much. Me too, guys. I'm gonna do a flip. I don't know if it'll be a good flip. But you guys see the importance of like at least starting a project. Oh yeah, okay, it's not the worst flip. Let's do like a little bit of forced perspective. What I'm going to do, yeah, I'll grab all of this, right? Black and I'm black and I wear a lot of yellow and gold. Honestly, us melanated folks, we look pretty good in gold. Um, but swirl would be cool submerged, reminiscent of a wave. Thank you, Danny. Goated idea. Um, I'm going to like continue to find ways to push this design. But again, chat, look, a long time ago, right? This was the design, right? And even before that, I had done this. And look, it's fine. But there's no real direction there, right? And that's the point, right? I was like, I'm going to make the god of, and at that time, put tempo. What does that mean, right? I don't even know what the creatures look like. How would I know what its governing body, godlike deity would look like? So, by at least putting down a base, right? Then eventually we got to here. And this is really cool. It's a cool whale, dragon, snake. It had arms, kind of like Rayquaza here. It's got this crown thing, which I might bring back. Cool. But there's still no connection of it to the real world. Now, that's why I said it's sometimes important to even come down and get to the ground level. And I'm designing, like, how would the, XOTEMPO work in the world? And now all of a sudden, from a conversation about, okay, the world's domains where you can enter the XOTEMPO world, all of a sudden that conversation led into, legendaries and gates. And then I'm realizing wood, alongside the fact that I made that all the babies have wooden masks, we're able to come back. Wood is rigid, wood is structured. Looking at this design, you can see the clear evolution of the previous design. And this has so much more of a unique and clear voice than the previous form, which, yes, as godlike as it were, it felt generic. Like maybe that god could be a god in any story. But this creature on screen, you can distinctly tell it is the god of this world, right? So I've been in a little bit of a rut. I mentioned it, and I don't shy away from that conversation. And I saw something last night that really made me feel good. And I'll quickly share it for you as we start winding down for the night. Um, and it was the notion that, hold on, I'm going to quickly just color this, and then I'm going to read it to you. It goes something like this. I feel like I'm constantly worrying about the next part of my life without realizing that I'm right in the middle of what I used to look forward to. And I think that's really beautiful. Like I'm sitting in this place getting to create a monster tamer with you beautiful souls watching over me like my little angels. Think about it. All those months ago, I was talking about, I want to make my monster tamer. I want to make my monster tamer. I didn't even have a name. And here I am worrying about a lot of things, and it's, understandable to worry, but now I have a name for my monster tamer. I'm working on the deity. The design language of the game has been slowly been building, and it's not by accident. It's putting in the work. So I do worry about things, and I always will, and I'm taking meds for it, and it helps. But like sometimes you do have to go back to basics, and in this case, I'm sitting here thinking about, wow, here I have this really sick design. You guys really seem to enjoy it. I seem to enjoy it. Things are going to be all right. You know, that's the cool thing. Things are going to be all right. It's pretty cool. Sometimes you gotta take a little break. I'm gonna just segment him just a little bit here. And so when I do like the redesign, I'll get like a nice sense of movement and flow. You know what? I kind of want to make the wings even larger. And it disconnected there. It doesn't translate well. So I'm going to give it a little bit of overlap right there. So then you can see that it's like supposed to hover. In fact, I'll add like this little black bit right here. So it looks like it's supposed to, like, it's like a magnetic link. Damn, for a quick render, that gold looks kind of ill. How do you make the space texture? I gotta figure that out. Flip it a few times, do a dancey dance. Speaking of Norse, I still hope for either Nidogr, Fafnir, or Yomundir. How come the flip looks almost a little better too? Sometimes it happens. Hey, yo, is that the Crimson Chin? I'd say the old one looks too much like Whale Arcus. This design is Beta Arceus of the XOTEMPO world, like if the current Raja shed its wooden Totempo body. Louis the Wolf and the Sky Dogs, but Louis the others, Huey's son, follow the Fair Orb too. This is one cool looking monster. It's not. It's a XOTEMPO. It's getting lost in sauce. I'll take your time on. Hell yeah. Show support whatever you do with XOTEMPO. Felt that's always something to keep in mind. Yeah, it found me. I'm glad it did. And like we need to hear that sometimes, right? Honestly, this kind of a touching statement. Yeah, like it's cool, right? Progress happens and we don't even realize it. We're so ready for the next thing, which is good, right? We gotta be inspired. We gotta chase something. You gotta have a goal, right? I think the people that scare me the most are the people who are the most content. And it's good to like, you know, wait a second. What if I had like dips like that? Wait, nah, I don't like that. But, but what if it really was segmented, chat? Like really like blocks? It's kind of crazy. Oh, wait. What if I had like these X kind of shapes in between? Could you have, oh, Potempo, XOZO, Zotempo. Look, wait. Chat, look at this. Hold on. So you have the X, the O, the T of the cross of the, I don't know. There might be something cool coming around the corner. Um, Same here since I got my new computer. It's something I've been aiming for years. Hell yeah, congrats. Did we just witness a decapitation, sir? Decapitating God. Say that 7 times, real time fast. Constempo tempso temptos. Oh, that's all I got. All right, so I will continue to figure out like the details little by little. Imagine I spelled his whole name out with his, I don't know. But yeah, I want him to feel elevated. I want him to feel not scary. This second segment isn't really doing it for me right here. So I don't really know what to do with that one. I wonder if I give him like a dorsal fin, like a shark, like an orca, but like it may not be the play. You know what it is? He's missing some sort of crown. I think that's the issue. Let's keep it simple, right? Let's do brown, something white. Cooking, it's been really recurring thing in media. I've just been seeing that you chase a goal, and when you get there, it almost feels empty. This has been a big theme in Chainsaw Man. I saw the first season of that. It was so good. As if the chasing the goal is the actual goal in the end. Dorsal fin made of a mountain. Wait, do all the blocks separate? Finally, the XOTEMPO god XOXO. Mwah. I don't know. Maybe it would be kind of sick, right? If the blocks separated, it could be really cool. Um, I don't know if I want it to be a mountain, just because I don't know. Let me do this. Let me make this even bigger. Ooh, look at that movement that we get. What if that little elastic stings? Stings? Strings. I think what's cool about, say, this is if I do this doo-doo, doo-doo. If I do this version, it kind of feels like they're magnetically kind of linked together, you know? That's pretty cool to me. So let me do doo-doo. He needs some sort of crown is what I'm kind of gathering, you know? It just feels right for, even though like I really want it to be, what's the word? Like a humble, benevolent kind of god, it still needs, from a design standpoint, right? Needs to feel elevated, right? So why don't I have the gold, yeah, cut like that across all of them. I won't do the XOXO thingy. I think that's a little too hard to pull off. I wouldn't say hard, but you know what I mean. It's just simple. I could do lines underneath to resemble wood textures, but also to look like the little stripy bits that exist on whales. You know what I mean? Yes, because it's good to have some texture. I'll like really lighten it up a little bit. Yo, this design is crazy. He said, Dodo, everyone pointed a lot. No. Reminds me of Gyarados. Gary 2. It'd be kind of cool to see someone make this in Minecraft as a mob. Make it have like 3 billion HP. Are you gonna excuse me, are you not gonna give him the energy ball thing from the OG design? There's a lot of straights. You're right. That could be the whale stretch marks. Chat, do we know what that is? Honestly, I lost a lot of weight. I have a lot of stretch marks. I'm not like ashamed of them at all. Like to me, they're like these cool like stripes like of my battle. In the same way, you got to tell all your queens, cellulite, sorry to say to the haters, is attractive as hell. Like stretch marks, bruh. Celebrate your body. All right, capiche? Okay, so look at how much more dynamic this pose feels. Um, Blockbench is pretty easy to use. It's quite too. Kind of hope the segments are still organic attached. Brings in the Egyptian feels. I think stretch marks are cool. I call them tiger stripes. Hell yeah. There could be a mob in the ether dimension. All right, so now technically, chat, my alarm went off. We're at 3 hours in for the stream. Um, I'll like quickly kind of, work out something for a potential crown and then call it. Um, Watch the tangent lines there. Nothing worse than like ill-fated and placed tangent lines. For sure, the face needs something, right? Like in high school, my shoulder muscles grew too fast, and now shoulder stretch marks. Hell yeah! Celebrate good time. Stride disease? Oh, stride tensei. Very cool. Shin Megami Tensei. So I'm gonna quickly look at. See, I feel like this is doing a lot, but let's see what we can do. I'll do a quick thing. I like the orb thingy that's in his body, but at the same time, like, I don't really know what that means from a lore perspective. Oh, wait. I could have. Hold on. His antlers can kind of like start from here and follow along down the back of the body. Kind of makes. You know what? I keep reading this tusk as an eye. What about you guys? Should I make it a little smaller? Or I can look at like Hindu statues and have the tusks come down like this. Ooh, chat. Look, I'm gonna have the teeth extend all the way. It might be too busy. Let's just do it all the way here. Shin Megami stretch mark? That's amazing. Oh, when he paints over the nose ring, it looks like petting it. Yoshi. Wait, is that from is that a reference to Sonic Adventure 2 Battle? Because I had the cutest little Chow in that game, and I believe Dr. Eggman would be like, Yoshi, when he petted them. I didn't think of it as an eye at all. I can't help but see an eye, chat. Probably because I have it like plastered to the side like that. I mean, it's kind of cool though that it does that though at the same time. All right, I love working in like block shapes like this. Is like you have to like think of it like in 3D. So I'm like trying to like I think there's a million permutations of what I could do for you know for like the crown. It could be cool, whatever. And I don't know what that orb thingy was. It was kind of like a black hole or like a sun, maybe like the energy source for all XOTEMPO. But see, I don't want to like phone in a phony reasoning. I think it's too flowy. Maybe his antlers, now they look like bug antennae. I do love bugs. I mean, it also looks like the bow of a ship or something, which is cool. You know? That's pretty cool too. And I could have all these cool, like, markings on it. I think I'll call the design here for now. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. I like the round. Oh my god, I don't know what that is, but it looks ill. It looks like a halo. It looks like a crown. It balances against the blockiness. It's kind of like a callback to the previous design motif I had before. Bruh, that's ill. I don't know what that is, but it's ill. Let's give it some quick highlights. And then you got like the curly bits of the, you know, of the teeth. And then, oh, you know what? I might as well bring this down all the way. Bro, did anyone give me permission to fucking cook like this? Oh, dudes. What if I give it all these kind of like scratch marks like whales have? Like it's really kind of like lived forever. It's aged. Um, okay, the alarm rang. It did. Don't forget the time bonnet thing. Yeah, for sure. Wait, help. It's giving roach and Tene. No curl at the end, please. Looks like his eyes. Um, I don't think of it as an eye. Stretch marks in a sense a symbol of victory. Black hole, sun, roach. I think the chimeric look fits really well given it created all the XOTEMPO. Eastern dragon horns. Don't forget the time. Alarm rang. Good call. Time. True. It looks like a divine version of Bawa from Bleach. Wee woo, wee woo. Long antlers. Nah. Ooh, it looks pretty cool. Looks like a bit Egyptian. The black hole could go on that. Zoraja Zotem is looking majestic, badass, and powerful. Adding black hole might be too much. I think so too. Will there be more XOTEMPO tomorrow? I think I'll do more location based stuff. I want to like again design maybe where the shamans fight, right? It looks like cool. He's too locked in. 5-star Michelin. The black hole could be a temporary thing, like an energy blast. So it doesn't have there. Well, the thing is, Danny, like this, as far as the story, like you can't capture him. He's there, kind of like as like this, um, mostly like for lore reasons, you know. So, hmm. And then it'll look like a basketball hoop. Tilted towers. I don't think the eye thing would be a problem if it ended up being 3D. Um, I'm like now looking at the logistic things, and that's why like when I redraw this, it'll look awesome because this is like a first pass. So, for example, there. Yo, expanding our domains to stream, boys. What's up? True agree. Say what up to Ron chat. Um, you always come in when I'm leaving, Ron. What do you think of the god of all the XOTEMPO? We've expanded domains, very much so. Basketball, what is this high school musical? Like Troy just comes in and dunks on this guy? Kind of looks like those man catcher weapons without the pole. Man catcher weapon? What is that? Mr. Seven goes hard. Mr. Seven. Hello there, Mr. Seven. We had the True Green and Froopy. That's true. Froopy did come in. Um, all right, so I don't know about this basketball antennae thing, you guys. Welcome, Ron and Bond. Two peds in a pod. He very much looks like the god of something. Very good. At least we got that. Um, Ron was invited to make a legendary at 1.2. Now I get to make mine. All right, so we got the segments. I will probably make them feel more organic, but it's good to block out literally in this case. So next pass, more organic. I'll have like the wooden covers and stuff be like armor, right? But at least I have a nice movement. Pants are good 95% of the time. We're shorts get guys, if I were to show you the shorts I'm wearing, I swear to God, I went into the mirror right here and I started laughing. I'm gonna just show you guys. Ikari 007, what's up? Zaraja better worry about Shaq. Shaq can't dunk on his guy. The ship name could be LeBron James. The man catcher thing is just a semicircle attached to the pole. Let's go. True Green is a pants fan. Other five is for skirts. All right. You guys can't clown me, okay? We know I'm team pants. We created a Fresno Nightcrawler, but this is my brother's shorts, okay? And he's like taller than me, but like not even that much taller. Tell me why these shorts are this long. Ready? Oh crap. I have to really step back in frame. Can y'all see? They go way past my knees. I don't know who made these. Look, actually, these are Under Armour shorts. Mr. Under Armour, you made these shorts way too long. These are like capri pants of shorts. All right, it's too much. It's too much fabric. Basketball influence is real. Those aren't shorts. They're shorts. Capris. They're basically capris. I literally stood in front of the mirror yesterday. I was dying of laughter. Yeah, they're shorts. I got you, Ron. I got you, bro. Bro, they're the ugliest shorts I've ever seen. I don't know why I still have them. They're free. Half of my clothes are hand-me-downs from my brother, and he's younger than me. Straight up lorts. Yeah, those are longs. Longs. I like longs and I like lorts. Lorts is crazy. They're short pants. He's not that much taller. That's what I'm saying. He's not that much. Schlorts is nasty. Schlorts is nasty, bro. Danny, that's some demonic work. Just Schlort with the J is crazy, kid. Consider what if Bonnie's the short one. Hey, listen, I'm 5'10". All right. I mean, it's. Can we get pants wearing longs? You guys are too much for me. All right. Any last critiques as we close out our stream? It's 9:47 my time. I've been on stream 3 hours, 15 minutes. They're schlong. No! No! We can't be having schlongs. We just can't be hurling schlongs on stream, chat. If anyone who says shorts should be kept away from listen, youngster Joey knows. And you know what it is? I'm doing laundry, okay? So I had to bust these out. You told them Bonathan, damn it. Um, I'm doing laundry. So you know when it's laundry day and then you get all the like the worst clothes out of your drawer that like never see the light of day? That's what happened. All right? The schlongs are the schlorts. Someone collect Danny. Someone collect Danny before she does irreversible damage to the chat. I want the sperm head. The sperm whale's head shape. Fuck. Ah. Fucking. Uh, I believe whoever said sperm whale earlier. I'm crying right now. I should have never shown you guys the schlongs, the shorts, the longs. God damn it. My contacts are blurry. Too much. Money caught in 4K. We got the squirt bottle. Pause. I just got here, and that's the first thing I hear. There's also called chocolate whales. Chocolate? Chocolate. Chocolate whales. Uh, Definitely not the one who brought out wild looking sperm whale. Oh my god. Funny, funny chat. All right. Last thing. No, do not put that out there, Danny. Just by nope, we're a good channel. We're not getting Sally YouTube. I forget the CEO's name. Is that right? Sally? Something with an S. Susan. Susan YouTube. You have no power here. You know what? Oh, look at this. Last thing. I'm gonna like low key kind of just bring a little bit of a bend. Dude, that was so funny. Oh, that's ill. Hold on. So how do I? That's ill. Watch the tangent lines. Looks kind of like a ship. Oh, what if I did this? Where the gold kind of... There's a lot of permutations I can do to figure out a crown or a crest. If I did this... That really does look like a ship, huh? Susan Wajiji. It's all Ron's fault. It's not Susan anymore? Susan, no! The demonetization. You're about to trigger YouTube's face down, be sent to the graveyard, the shadow realm. There's a new CEO. Susan YouTube's late. I want to be Bonny YouTube. Nah, I don't want to be. I want to be Bonny XOTEMPO. Yeah, that's true. I'm really like feeling a little sprain here. How am I supposed to go immortal in Valorant? I have a strained wrist. All right, so I'm gonna just do. Cause I feel like, damn, I'm gonna be sitting here trying to figure this out. Yeah, I'm gonna put the pen down. Schlong activity detected. We're gonna have like a robot on stream, like a mod. All right, let me just. That's what I'll do. I'm gonna just close the thing. Oh, wait, Mr. Krabs. Look at this. What if I did a second mouth? And it's kind of like a Slifer the Sky Dragon thing, who's my favorite Egyptian god card. Double decker bus dragon god, bro. Mr. Bonny Zahn, that's fire. Neil Mohan? That sounds like an Indian guy. Pants being named Schlong? No, we're not doing all that. Yo, the second mouth go crazy. Schlong Tembo. Oh, you put the pen down. All right, Billy Butcher. All right, let's do. I'm gonna do that for now. Second mouth, and I'm just going to. Oh, it looks like a samurai crest or something. Last thing, I promise. I promise. Last thing. Last thing. Last thing. brother in Christ, this is the illest thing I've ever seen in my life. Stop playing with me. Y'all didn't know about this. Brother. He looks Indian, actually born in America. You Mayuri from Bleach with the mouth? My poor wrist. It's my forearm is killing me now. Okay. I'm going to call it here. This feels pretty damn good. Made a lot. What a huge improvement. What if, wait, what if it's brown like this and then black with the underbody? No, I'll do white. Okay. I'm going to put it down. We're going to call it quits. Not quits. We don't give up. What a huge difference, Chad. The intentionality in the design, right? Oh, there's one thing I want to fix. What if you put the pen down? You guys better come take it from me. I'm on a tear. All right, yeah, I'm going to extend the gold there, and I'm going to extend the gold there as well. There we go. Now I'll call it. Now I'll call it. All right, chat. It's been real. I know where you live. That's true. That's true. No, Mama Dukes, no. All right, so it's now officially 3:30. I'm gonna have to rest my forearm. I'm feeling it. I'm stupid, but it felt inspiring, and I got a really ill design out of it. But I'm going to go ahead and call it now. Feel free to leave any feedback in the XOTEMPO channel on the Discord, or feel free to comment on the actual VOD that's going to make itself now. Hold on. I don't hate that. Damn it, I said I was gonna stop drawing, bro. This is bad. Oh. Well, now, but then that kind of ruins the... Yeah, let's not. Okay, stream ending, remember? Yes, I'm gonna go. Take care. I'm sorry. I will see you guys for the next one tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Leave a comment if you want, or don't. Do whatever do whatever you want. You're free. Thank you for hanging out with me. I had a really fun time. The last 20 minutes was kind of crazy. Shout outs to you guys. Have a wonderful night. Hope you like this guy, whatever I end up calling him. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Good night. I love you.